Hi, my name is Dave Feeney. I grew up in the town of Canton, right outside of Boston. And whenever anyone asked me where I wanted to go to school, I only had one answer: Northeastern. I've always loved the campus and just Boston in general. I could be in a big city and still be near my friends and family. The emphasis on co-ops abroad was also a big draw for me. However, being abroad freshman year was never something I thought of, and when I found out that I had the opportunity to study in London for my first semester, I knew I couldn't turn it down. Not only would I be getting a strong, traditional education, but just as importantly, I'd get the opportunity to experience what it was like living in one of the most cosmopolitan cities in the world. Our neighborhood fit the description cosmopolitan perfectly, as right upon leaving Metrogate, a variety of languages could be heard, from French to Arabic to even Polish. All those cultures allowed me to try many new foods: grilled halloumi and chicken shawarma, Nutella-filled crepes, and some tasty chicken tikka masala were just some of the many ethnic cuisines I got to have. My best food experience, however, was at Metrogate because of one great man, Samuel Gallegos. His parents are from Chile, and his Chilean background came through in his excellent cooking. Before the trip, I was a wimp when it came to spices, but the more time I spent with Gallegos, the more I was able to handle his spicy ways. The kitchen was a great place to meet people, and the first few weeks was where many friendships were made. Everyone was ready to get out and explore London. The first weekend was Nottingham Carnival. Started in the 60s by the growing West Indian community in London, it has now become the second largest street festival in the world. I had a great time there and met a lot of cool people. The carnival was only 1 week in, and I already knew that I was going to love London, where there was always something to do. Hyde Park was right down the street from our flat, and it was great to get a good game of soccer or frisbee in. Borough Market was my favorite place to go on the weekends, as there was always good food. Going out at night on the weekends was pretty fun also. At first, getting around was hard, but eventually I figured out the tube and bus stops, and learned if you weren't miserable on public transportation, you just weren't doing it right. London wasn't the only place that we experienced in the UK. From Stonehenge to a castle in White Cliffs in Dover, to Rome and Bath in the city of Bath, I got to see incredible places all over England. However, my favorite weekend of my first semester was the only one I didn't spend in England. The trip to Scotland was truly awesome. The city of Edinburgh was one of the most beautiful places I'd ever been to, and the hike to Arthur's Seat was a lot more challenging than expected. Through all these places visited, we still unfortunately had to go to class. However, most days weren't too bad. Field trips were common, as the professors emphasized that reading about something just wasn't the same as being there and experiencing it. Music and British life and cultures were two of my favorite classes. Both of the professors were cool, smart guys who made what they were talking about interesting. However, the learning did not stop there. For my community service, I worked once a week at the People's Supermarket right in central London. Their goal is to offer high-quality, healthy food at a cheap price. Initially, I was a bit skeptical about the place. I didn't know what kind of service I was providing to the community, and felt like I wasn't doing anything to help. After I was there for weeks, I began to learn a bit more about the market. I began to appreciate what they were all about. I got to spend time in the kitchen and see when they said no food went to waste, they meant it. I got to help set up food donated by the market to a fundraising event at a school. I got to work at the till and interact with all sorts of people. In the end, I was happy to have been a volunteer at the People's Supermarket. I'm proud to say I managed all my classwork while still exploring and enjoying such a cool city. This has been a unique first semester, and this learning experience has certainly helped me prepare for the 4.5 years that await me at Northeastern.